But the reality is, like, if we didn't stay in touch, there was probably a reason why. And turns out I was right. Most of them turned out to be the same
It's
kid that I
over.
thought that forecast them to be.
My radar was dead on 50 years ago. The guy was an asshole when he was 9.
Funny because you get this emotional weirdness from seeing like old girlfriends and former coworkers and classmates all flattened into the same endless scrolling feed, right? It's pretty bizarre if you think about it.
So I like when Facebook uses like, AI to like, make the recommendation. Oh, perhaps because somehow, some friend of yours that you met on Facebook knows this person. So it's like, oh, well, it's like, well, if AWOL's friend such and such knows this guy, well, back it, so if AWOL's friend such and such knows this guy, then Rufus, who is also a friend of AWOL, they might have something
Must
in
get
common.
on well. Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
get these lists. So perhaps you know, perhaps you know. It's like, and
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
love when it's like, yeah, they give you somebody from high school. It's like, yeah, I know 'em. That's why I'm not friends with them. Yeah.
Why do you think it is that people seem slightly angry all the time on Facebook?
Good question. I really don't know. I don't know if it's honestly, it might stem from like the old like lunchroom thing, like, like you don't get to sit at the cool table. Like, they see people having
You're always seeing the
well,
best part of somebody's 15 minutes of fame. You know what I mean? Like, here I am at the beach with the sunset. Then you don't get the, like, you're not sitting with them when the mortgage notice shows up that they can't pay or whatever it is.
right. It's the kind of thing too where
It doesn't make it through.
and then, how, again, well, even like Twitter, which I'm not on Twitter at all because Twitter is like the next level
Of
of like
stupid. Yeah.
Facebook, where, you know, Facebook, it's almost like I was standing in line behind some asshole in the bakery, where Twitter, it's like, immediate. It's like, I'm standing in back of an asshole in the it's,
Yeah, it's all
that's
devolved. It's all devolved from a transition from like, look at my vacation photos to here's my emotional breakdown and political manifesto.
But that's the thing too, because again, like we touched on one of the other shows, like, me with my divorce, I didn't turn it into a whole fucking Facebook pity party.
You
And
know,
the thing too,
also, I mean, there's a certain sadness to that, right? I mean, where people know too much about your life. Now, do you think it's sad that birthday notifications are replacing human connection?
yeah, that's another thing too, where it's like, the only reason people acknowledge your birthday is because Facebook is telling them to.
Right, exactly. You
And,
become like
the other
tied
thing
to it,
too is
right?
how much of social media, not just Facebook, but just social media in general, how much of that is just like, how do you say it? Like the decline of independent thought and opinion and like mob rule
Oh,
where
that mixed with the fact that like people are now using it to announce things like divorces and illnesses, life crises online to hundreds of semi
well,
strangers, really.
it goes to corporate life too. It's like, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon for like
Sometimes Facebook feels less like social media and more like passive surveillance. It's kind of why I
yeah,
got off of it, you know?
yeah. But that's also the other thing too. It's become like when Facebook first started, there was more. I hate using the word community because, Facebook with their community standards, how that's like their excuse to just like, whatever. But like when Facebook first started, there was more of a sense of community. It would goes with my website too. It was like, yeah, oh, this we're all in this together. We're exploring this new area. Hey, this is cool. Where now it's just sort of this
It
very
becomes the unsettling realization that many people are like performing happiness online and
yeah,
quietly they're miserable offline. You know, that's a very, in and of itself, is a hard realization, you know, kind of
it's
keeps
just
me away from the whole Facebook thing.
yeah, it's just become very egocentric. It's like, oh, look, it's like, I don't give a fuck what you're having for dinner. It's like,
Yeah, right.
because one of my friends, I think, I know I told you this in private. Yeah, one of my friends, yeah, his wife I can't stand because she's just like some flashy, like, again, refuses to get old type, every time, on Facebook, you see her and it's like, oh, girls' night out. And like she's still in fucking high school. And you have all of her like friends, bunch of It's the word I'm looking for.
Ladies?
No, like where you like where if you have somebody who's an alcoholic and you're buying them the liquor, what's the word?
Here.
Enabler.
Yes.
Yeah, like all of her enabler friends are honey.
You know what's a little strange is when people die and they have their Facebook profile up there still. It's a little strange, right? Nothing against dead people or whatever it is, but don't you find that a little morose?
Yeah, actually, my friend Mike, who died, his Facebook thing is still up. I don't go, I don't visit,
A
I
little
don't even know
eerie,
if his
right?
widow. Yeah, I don't even know if his widow is, aware that it's up there, or it's because that's the whole nother thing too. It's like, there was actually a thing. There was a thing that was something about that, like with Facebook, how like when people pre-plan and it's like, what do you want to happen to your face? It's like you're creating some kind of like great legacy.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
go
yeah,
like,
right. A monument to your ego or
right,
something like that.
right. It's like, yeah, if anything, it's like, people look at the guy's Facebook profile and that'll probably like that'll be a chronicle of his downfall.
Well, I'll tell you, the thing that got me off Facebook ultimately was that sort of realizing that, I'm not using this app, it's using me. Like you said, the targeted ads, the manufactured outrage directed by the algorithm right to your brainstem. And, it just became like the realization that the algorithm is just trapping people into outrage and emotional addiction. I think we all know a few, people that we went to school with that kind of veered off and went into
Oh
that
yeah, I
lane, you know what I mean? They're just, must type response, you know?
you know 'Cause there's a guy I went to college with. I know. I think I told you about him. And yeah, he's down in Florida now. And yeah, it's just funny because yeah, I don't know if it's like the real him coming out or if like Florida's doing a job on him. If you know what I mean. Yeah, 'cause it's like I
Excuse me.
read some of his like yeah, I read some of his shit, and I'm just
Right.
like, what the fuck happened?
Well, what about the older members of your own family who become like meme warriors with their nutty ideas? And you're like, I really don't need to know this. You know what I
That's the
mean? It's
thing
like,
too. It's like I look at some of these people, and I'm just like,
no
it's
thanks,
like
not for me.
I used to like look up to you in high
Oh,
school and college because I thought you were smarter than me. Like, what the fuck?
right. It's just very degrading to the human experience at the end of the day, the whole Facebook thing.
Right,
There's a lot of mystery in life because everyone broadcasts everything constantly, you know?
right. Can't just take this to the playground and duke it out in back of the cheese castle like civilized men.
I mean, it's even when you look at the old friendships that are maintained through effort versus the ones that are sort of the modern like thing. Yeah, like, all right, I'm going to give you a like on that picture at your kid's whatever, function. Very different experience.
Yeah, I
And a
don't know
lot of
if it has.
people confuse that. I think blur
Yeah,
the
'cause I
line.
don't know if it has anything to do with just getting older and as we get older and just like reprioritizing everything and like our relationships and I hate going back to like a Facebook meme, but like just getting rid of the well, actually, you said it too, because I remember talking about like Facebook once, and yeah, you said like, "What's your fucking problem?" It's like you go to a restaurant 2 or 3 times and you don't enjoy yourself, you stop going to that restaurant.
Right.
Somehow, you get all pissed off, and it's like, yeah, you find yourself on Facebook, and you're like, "Why am I here?" And you keep
Yes.
going back. It's like,
Yes. There's a strange loneliness of being more digitally connected than ever before while feeling more socially isolated, right? I mean, it's a strange thing. The two seem to be
I,
like correlated or whatever.
I've said that before, and it would interesting. We'd have to go into that too about like how nobody really talks anymore. Used to be that like you'd be in line at the bakery or you'd be in line somewhere, even the supermarket. And nothing to do. You start chit chatting with the people around you. Now you can't. Now it's like in Walmart. This was over Christmas. It's I'm in line. And there's some lady in back of me. She's on her cell phone and she's talking just the way I'm talking to you now. And it's like she's going on, and her friend must have said, "Oh, are you going to go out with your boyfriend?" And she's like, "No, because I'm on my cycle." And I'm like, "Do I have
Oh,
a fucking beard?"
Lord. Ouch.
It's like, what happened
Nothing
to
wrong
like
with the
your
cycle, but
social
maybe
filter?
save, where you are with it for a more private moment. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
exactly.
Yeah, I think the only thing to look good on Facebook anymore is Facebook Marketplace, right? It's the last genuinely useful thing on the platform.
I love Facebook Marketplace, and, actually, I admit I go for the reels, because even then, a lot of the reels aren't, what do you call it? Like, just some kinda, like, politically loaded kinda thing. It's like, there's a bunch of reels I enjoy watching. Some guy from Spain posts stuff, about, like, dyeing trades, and, you go to Facebook Reels, it's a good break from Facebook. It's
You think in the end, social media made life better, or you think it just made it noisier?
definitely noisier.
Yeah,
Yeah, again, 'cause it's the kind of thing where it's turned everybody into a performer. I mean, I
yeah.
know it's odd for us to say because 'cause we're doing this
We're
now, but,
performing dance monkey
we're
dance.
not yeah, we're not just imposing ourselves on people. People choose to come and see us.
Yes, I mean, to me, there's a big difference. I've tried to, you get this urge, this dopamine urge, and so I've tried to redirect that to other platforms, making videos, writing essays, whatever, anything beyond like your party sucks, my party's good, black is black, white is white. You know what I mean? It's like I don't care, and you guys can have that shit. I'm just gonna see the short time I'm left on this planet if I can do
Yeah.
something a little more creative than that.
I know, it's like the whole political crap on Facebook. It just reminds me of, like, when we used to argue on the playground about whether, Batman can kick Spider-Man's ass or not.
Yeah, and brings you back to the swing set, that's for sure. Any closing thoughts on Facebook, social media? What has this whole conversation brought you? Where's the place, man?
I think that, Facebook was interesting. I don't know, they're talking, well, it's interesting too, because if you've noticed, if you follow financials, it's like the stock is in the toilet. Oh, that's not in the toilet, but they're losing a lot of subscribers. They're losing a lot of revenue. I don't know if it's because, what's his face, is just getting bored with Facebook itself, because if you remember, he was all into that metaverse thing, sunk huge amounts of money into that. Now it's like, AI and his, so yeah, I don't, it's the kind of thing where I kind of think Facebook is going to be one of those things like, yeah, it's going to be a flash in the pan. Well, not a flash in the pan, but it's going to slowly die like AM radio did.
Very cool, let's hope so. I think my closing thought would be that maybe Facebook didn't create loneliness, maybe it just revealed how lonely modern life already was.
Whoa, look at you with that
Yes, pretty deep.
insight.
Well, I spend a lot of time on Facebook.
Okay.
Do not do that actually. But anyway, so we'd like to thank you for watching another episode of Geezer's Playhouse. If you have any thoughts on Facebook, what it brought to your life, how it's hurt your life, please leave it in the comments below. Obviously, we need you to like and subscribe so that we can continue to bring you the most amazing topics of social decay, aging, the human experience as you get older in America.
And
Thoughts?
if you know a lonely, attractive woman, remember Rufus, care of
PO
Geezer
Box.
Play.